Hi, I'm John. I'm one of the co-founders of Word on the Water, the London book barge.
Yeah, I'm the captain of the boat, and here we go for our last trip through the tunnel. We've been going round and round, trying to find places to trade, but it seems like now we're going for one of our lost trip.
Okay, hello, I'm Paddy. I'm one of three of us that run Word on the Water, the London book barge, which is a bookshop, a second-hand bookshop on a 1920s Dutch barge. It's been driving through the canals of London for the last 4 years, moving every 14 days to a different place, and which has just finally found a sort of safe harbour here in Paddington, in King's Cross. I'm John Privet, who's one of the guys I do this with. He's been selling books for about 23 years, and he used to sit on blankets outside tube stations and sometimes make more money than we do today doing that. And then by the time I met him when I first arrived on the canal about 9 years ago, and he was the first person I met on the boat next door, he was running quite a big bookstall up in Archway Market. I was hating my job and wanted to do something different. We spent the summer sitting up on our boats eating wild cherries off the trees in Springfield Park, and tried to see if there could be a way we just wouldn't ever have to leave the canal again and go to London anymore. And so we thought of doing it initially on my narrowboat, and when we were halfway through the planning we met the guy who looks after this boat. He's a glorious Frenchman who said he wanted to be a full partner in the business as well, and he wanted to build a stage on the roof, and he wanted events to be part of what we did. And so we sort of set off going from there. We spent £2,000 in total setting up the business, and it's sustained itself just ever since.
We met on the river.
I remember the day we really met was Steve was having that party in Harlow, and he was doing a bar, and we were taking a sound system up there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You came in the van and picked it up from Archway Market.
That's right.
And we put the sound system and the records in your van and drove up. And it was a crazy rainy day, and it was hard to make the party happen. But neither of us really stopped until we succeeded. And then 24 hours later we were packing the party up, and we had all the stuff stacked up on the tables and chairs. We did this backflip onto the top chair of the stack of chairs.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that quite well.
We met a few times before, but that's when we were inbound.
Yeah, we've got mutual friends that we both know. About 3 years before we met each other properly.
That's right.
And where do you get your books from? And do you select them all yourself, or?
If they're on the shelves, it's because we decided they should be on the shelves. We sort of curate them in. We work with about 13 or 14 different charity shops. Charity shops sell a quarter maybe of the books they're donated, maybe half of them. And the rest go to another charity that does the pulping. It's all very sort of positive and sustainable way of working. But the charity shops don't always know which books should be saved and which books shouldn't. not that many books shouldn't really, but which ones must definitely be pulled from the piles. And so we go through their mountains and we take the books out and paint them on the holders. And about a quarter of the books in the shop are donated by sort of people who know us, customers, in the course of the week as well. And some of the very, very best things we sell are donated.
I was just saying about how cool it is when a really smart person comes and they understand all the things. Sometimes somebody will come past and they'll look at it and they won't understand what it is, and you overhear people telling each other, oh, that's a library, or oh, that's a charity, or they don't get it. But then some people see it and they understand everything. And they go, oh, I see you've chosen the George Orwell books and the Charles Dickens books there. And they ask smart questions. And somebody walked in once and broke down in tears. And I asked her what was the matter, and she said, it's just so perfect, it's so beautiful. And not everybody's like-minded, not everybody likes the same thing, but people who like it and understand it, really like it and understand it. I love that connection with thousands of random strangers to get that message across, that things can be like this.
We had a lot of trouble along the way with the Canal and River Trust, with the authorities that regulate what we do. Though they've absolutely turned on a coin in recent months and are offering us 100% support. There's been a real sort of change of tone and a new positivity in the Canal and River Trust, which is nice to see. But we were getting chased around. We went to Paddington. We tried to stay at Paddington because there's so many more boats on the river. It's very hard to keep moving the boat anymore on a regular basis. We lose trading days doing it. And so we stayed there for about a year. And for the first 6 months, the Canal and River Trust sort of said, that's okay, you can. It was winter anyway. And we were like, wow, I think we're probably going to find a permanent home here. They seem to be moving in that direction. And then they started sending us letters threatening us and telling us we had to move and trying to take the boat away if we didn't follow the regulations. And then they announced that they were going to do a big tender, and there were 6 moorings around Paddington, and all the little boat businesses could apply for them. And so we put in a tender application on their suggestion, and we had quite a lot of support in the area, and we were feeling quite confident. The criteria listed in that were all very much what we would like. But it turned out that they announced that every single one of those moorings went to British Land, which is a vast real estate corporation, the biggest landowner in Europe, who in the last 9 months seem to have kept all of them empty, but are paying for those moorings. And so at that point it looked as if the shop might be over really, because we knew we couldn't keep continuously cruising forever. It wasn't going to pay the bills, keep the thing going. And then we had a campaign, and we were astonished that the level of support for the business was absolutely vast. We were in The Guardian, we were in Private Eye, we were on national TV. Our tweet saying that we needed someone to sign our petition was seen by 2 million people in the first 24 hours. And suddenly this wave of good feeling and support just came out of the woodwork from nowhere that we didn't know was there. And we had about 4 months there with just constant, lovely, beautiful support from people all day, every day, of one sort or another. People writing to the Canal and River Trust and signing a petition, getting stories in the paper, sharing. And we thought, well, hey, we're going to win this. And then they just didn't move an inch. And eventually they called us in for a meeting after the Private Eye, which was quite sort of contentious bit of press, perhaps. And they said, where in London might you be able to sustain a living? And we suggested here at Granary Square. And they said, well, fill in an application to us. And we did it, but it was a very bad feeling meeting, and we weren't very positive about the outcome. And then for 9 months we heard nothing, not a whisper, no communication at all. And we gave up, and we were, about 6 weeks ago, we were making our plans to sell the boat, figuring we'd make more money selling it as a shop than if we sold it as a boat, and looking into how to go about doing that. And we got the email from Canal and River Trust saying, come and meet us. There's a new trading manager in London. There's a new trading manager in the organisation nationally. They'd both like to come and meet you down there. We met us here at a coffee shop. They shook our hands. They said, we think you guys have had a very rough ride from the trust, and We want to see if we can make it good, and that's exactly what they've done. They've been nothing but friendly and supportive and creative and sort of making it possible for us to be here. So we got saved, which is not the ending of the story we thought was coming. But it'll be nicer to write that ending in the book.
The first meeting was like 20.
What do you think the next challenge will be for the bookbarge?
We've got to, well, the most immediate challenge is that it's going to cost us £4,000 to actually get properly onto this mooring. We have to put in mooring rings, we have to call civil engineers, we have to get planning permission and you pay for that. We have to do lots of work to the boat because we're concerned about it at the moment. We have to buy the first load of stock, and all of that would come out of the £4,000 reserves that we just never have had, never. We don't carry reserves, we live hand to mouth when we're doing it. And so we're doing a crowdfunder starting next Friday, where we're going to ask our supporters to see if they're able. The first time, we're quite embarrassed to be doing it, to see if they might be able to give us some financial support. So we're selling books in advance. You can buy 1 or 2 or 4 books, and then you can come and visit the floating bookshop and choose which titles you want to walk out with. And we've got some lovely rare books as well. We've got like a first edition Jane Austen, and we've got some great graphic artists who have supported the barge and have given us books that they've drawn in and stuff like that. So there's lots of gifts to give away. Picnics on the roof of the barge. People can spend an evening in the barge if they want to. So we're hoping in 5 weeks' time, when that opens and then closes, that we're in a position to just sort of lay our skirts about us and arrive on this mooring looking beautiful and ready to go. But we'll see. It's a big ask.
Sometimes discussions start around the shop about sort of stimulated by a particular book. Somebody will ask me a question about a book, I'll respond, then somebody will overhear it and make their contribution, and the whole discussion starts. And you learn more and more about the infinite field. It's like, I guess it's possible that you could study physics until you learned everything that was known about physics. But you could never know everything that's known about literature.